All right, okay. Today on Chump Talk, we have a very special guest joining us. He is the captain for your Kitchener Rangers, and he was drafted 42nd overall by the Los Angeles Kings in last year's draft. Francesco Pinelli, welcome to Chump Talk.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
I
having
think,
me.
yeah, thanks for coming on today. It's pretty awesome to have you on. It's been sweet to see your start to the season so far and Kitchener's start as well. Just talk about where you are now, what the last couple of months have looked like for you, just getting back into the swing of things after the OHL was kind of shut down for a whole season there.
Yeah, obviously, I went over to Slovenia. I played in the Alps League for 2 months. I played 13 games or whatever. I played in a pro league down there, and then I came back home and I played at the U18s, and then we had a really good team there. So we won gold with that team, so it was pretty special. And then obviously, I had the LA camp, the main and the rookie camp, so that was also a very good experience. And then now I'm into the Kitchener Rangers season, and we're doing okay right now, but things will get better for sure.
We're going to get lots into the Rangers, but I got to ask about a couple things you said there. So, first, playing in Slovenia, I wanted to ask you because I was looking on Elite Prospects, and one of the awards it says is Slovenian champion. So, did the team you were on win, or I'm guessing you were gone to U18s, right?
Yeah, no. So basically, what happened was they were in a pro league, but there's also like a separate like little league in Slovenia, and
Oh,
it's not good. Like there's like two, like it's us and another team that was in our league they were first in the league. They're called Ljubljana.
okay.
So it was either us or them winning, but the other Slovenian teams are kind of weaker. It's not really a big deal, but it's a big deal for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's also like the actual league. They won the actual league. I wasn't there for that, but I wasn't even there for the Slovenian Cup either. So there's kind
Name
of
name
like,
on the trophy though.
Yeah,
yeah,
is the name engraved?
I guess so. Yeah, so I don't know.
I wanted to ask more about Slovenia because we talked to Otter Brendan Othman when he was in Switzerland,
Yeah,
and we talked to Clarkey. I forget where Brant
I
Clark.
think
He
it's
was in
Slovakia.
yeah,
maybe
Slovak.
Slovakia. So what was the living situation like for you? Because it was like different for a lot. Like you guys are young kids going over there, and I'm assuming
Yeah.
not much cooking knowledge before you left.
Well, yeah. So I'm Italian, so like my mom's a very good cook. So
True.
I know, like, I've kind of, I was growing up like with good food always. So, my
I
mom,
probably should have guessed that actually.
yeah. So like, I always watch my mom cook kind of. So I kind of know how to cook. So, I went over there by myself, and I kind of do all the cooking and cleaning on myself. So, cooking wasn't really an issue. It was more getting the groceries, like kind of communicating with other people. They didn't really speak too much English, so
Yeah.
kind of frustrating at times, but there was a lot of pointing and stuff, so it was pretty funny.
Nice.
Talk about the opportunity to play in Slovenia. Obviously, that was kind of a tricky year because there were so many dates for the OHL that kept getting postponed, hoping the players were able to come back. And there were some guys who even kind of just kicked around the local area, hoping that the season would start. For you, where did the process start coming into play for you to go to Slovenia? Were you looking at any other places, or just talk about how you ended up there?
Yeah, I mean, the OHL season kept on getting pushed back, and obviously, you seeing all these other leagues playing, I was kind of getting a little frustrated, and I was like, what's going on? So I reached out to my agent, and they made a few phone calls overseas and see what they could do for me, and two of my trainers knew a GM in that Slovenian league, so they kind of helped me out and called the GM of that Yetnica team I joined, and they're really happy to have me and join their team. So I kind of looked into their team, and they had a good team. They were second in the league, so I think that was an eye opener for me, and then also like the location and stuff like that. But there was definitely a few leagues, but some of them were a little harder than others because the import spots, there's only two, so you couldn't really join any other leagues if there was only two.
Right. Did you say that your trainers from the Rangers helped you with that?
No, my back home,
Oh,
they
okay, gotcha,
yeah, back.
gotcha. And then going into the Kings camp. So obviously, you had a relationship or your friendship with Brant Clark before ever playing
Yeah,
that, right? Because you guys
yeah,
had U18s and probably knew each other growing up, anyways, right?
yeah, exactly.
So getting drafted the same place, he was their first pick. You were their second, unless they didn't have another first rounder, did they?
No.
So what was it like getting to go to that camp with him and just being around the guys too? Like you got some legends in Los Angeles, like Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar,
Yeah.
Jonathan Quick still there. Like there's some legends. What was it like there?
Yeah. Well, obviously, having Clarkey drafted the same team as me, we knew each other. We played each other growing up. The Red Wings and the Domino's Flyers. It was always competitive games and stuff. So, getting drafted as the same team as him was pretty fun. And we played U18s together and stuff like that. So I know him pretty well. And then also, Jacob Ingham, our goalie 2 years ago, is also drafted by them. So
Nice.
I knew him going in there
Nice.
too. So
That's
I know a
awesome.
few guys, and then also meeting Drew Doughty and Anze Kopitar is pretty special. And I think they're both great players. I met Drew Doughty going onto the flight, so it was pretty funny, but
Nice.
it was really cool for sure.
How many teeth did he have at that point?
I couldn't tell you. It's
Not enough.
no.
Any stories or experiences or just eye-opening moments with any of those players that have been around the league such a long time?
I mean, not really. Like from like when I was around those guys, I mean, it was pretty shocking how much they talked to like the younger guys. Like you'd expect, Anze and like Drew Doughty to kind of like, they're making a lot of money and they're really good players, and you'd think they wouldn't come up to 18-year-olds, but they introduced themselves and they talked to us a lot. So I thought that was pretty special, and you wouldn't expect that from them, but they were very good guys, and it was very eye-opening for me for
Awesome.
sure.
Let's bring it back to draft day with the Kings there. Just kind of talk us through that day, how the morning started off for you, finding out you were drafted by the Kings, and just how'd you celebrate after that? Because that's obviously got to be one of those days that you kind of look forward to ever since you're a little kid. It's got to be
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
amazing to see all the hard work pay off so far.
Yeah, obviously, the draft process was pretty fun. I mean, it was a good time. But once I got picked by the LA Kings, I was very, very honored and very happy to be a part of that organization. Obviously they got a great history. They got a great organization. So to be a part of them is very special. And, obviously it was very, very honored and very relieving when I got picked for sure.
And then I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, they traded down in that second round to draft you, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so that's got to feel pretty awesome because you see the trade down and then your name's getting called next. So that's a team that clearly wanted you. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely a very good feeling for sure.
Another good feeling being named captain of the Kitchener Rangers, I assume. So this is your second year with the Rangers, should be your third if COVID didn't cancel that other one.
Yep.
Tell us how you found out. Was it Mike McKenzie that gave you the word first, or how did that day go for you? Because you were 2 games into the season when it happened, right?
Yeah, or it might have been one.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really remember. It might have been 1 or 2, but yeah, I mean, he called me into his office and we were kind of talking about, leadership roles and stuff. And he kind of named me captain. And then the next day we had a game and they announced it. So to be captain of the Kitchener Rangers is an honor. Obviously it's pretty incredible. You see all the captains that have been down in like past years, and it's pretty special. You got some big names. So it's definitely an honor. And, I couldn't be happier for sure.
There's a painting on the wall in the odd Poolsy. I'm not sure if you remember seeing that, and I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know if you have for sure, but there's a painting in one of the aisles that has all the past captains. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
You should go see that at some point, because I was looking at it the other night, and some of the names that are on there, like you said, the history is insane, but like it just Landeskog is the first guy you kind of think of, but like Mike Richards, obviously he had that LA Kings stint too. So like to put your name on a group with that is got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Yeah, and just staying with Kitchener, just talk about Kitchener so far. What did for Brady and I, that's kind of the local city for us. We grew up going to the odd almost every Friday night watching the Kitchener Rangers play. Just talk about your time in Kitchener, what the city has meant for you so far, because it has a pretty unbelievable fan base, and it's a great place to go and watch a game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at all the teams in the OHL, and Kitchener's kind of separated from a lot of those teams. I think fan wise, we have the best fans in the OHL. We get a lot of fans, and even facilities. We have a really nice rink. Our coaching staffs are all high end. Macker, Wides, Merles, all these guys are very high end, and that's also another big part. And then we also got a really good team. So all those things come into play, and I think. I was really lucky to get picked by the Kitchener Rangers in the OHL draft, and I couldn't be happier with where I landed for sure.
You're talking about the Rangers staff, and our listeners are probably going to be rolling their eyes right now because we bring this up every time that we have a Ranger on or a past Ranger. But we've had Mike McKenzie on, Dennis Weidman, and then our first ever guest with Chump Talk was Danny Liebold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So do we have to ask you about Danny Liebold because he's been a family friend of ours. His son is our age, so we hang out with him all the time.
Oh,
So
really?
Danny Liebold was our first guest, and he brought some great stories. That was like over 2 years ago. We're gonna get him on again soon. But having Danny Liebold, who Steve Spott said recently when we had Steve Spott on, that Dan Liebold's an NHL equipment manager in the OHL, like just choosing to stay in the OHL, like he's NHL caliber. So having Dan Liebold around, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for a better guy than Dan Liebold. I think, he's for sure. He's a top end equipment manager. He gets everything done. I think, he's a very, very good guy, but he's also very good at what he does. And I think I couldn't appreciate him really anymore. All the guys appreciate him a lot, and he does a lot for us. So you can't get any better than that.
And we had Roman Schmidt on a couple weeks ago, and he's coming obviously from his first year from the States. And he told us a story how Danny Liebold loads up that trailer of yours when you go to away games, and Schmidt was looking around like, where the hell is our bag here? And is there any stories that come to mind, like even when you were in your rookie season that like you saw Dan do something like, holy, I didn't think we'd be getting treated this well. Is there anything that comes to mind? I know we kind of put you on the spot there though.
No, I mean, probably just, you go into the OHL, you always, in minor hockey, you kind of have to get your own sticks. You have to buy your own sticks at Pro Hockey Life and stuff. And then you go to the OHL. He goes, what kind of sticks you want? What flex? What you want, nipple grip or all? Like it's really, it's different, but it's really cool. When you're a young kid. So that was probably something that, was an eye opener for me. And I thought it was really cool. And they come in packs of 12. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well said. I want to take it back to 2019 here when you actually were drafted by Kitchener, 13th overall. Just talk about what that's like as a 16-year-old to be drafted so high to the OHL. Is there any added pressure just when you're 16 years old? What are you immediately thinking after you get drafted high into a league like the OHL?
Obviously when I was selected, I was in my living room with a bunch of family members, and I just remember celebrating. I couldn't be happier, and I got a call from one of the scouts, congratulating me, and it didn't even feel real. It was such an honor to be a part of that organization and drafted by them. I couldn't, it was a very good experience for me and my family, and definitely one to remember for sure.
You made the transition to the OHL look flawless. You put up 41 points in 59 games in your rookie season. Just talk a little bit about that, because you don't see that very often where a guy jumps into the OHL and makes the impact that you did in that year with Kitchener. Just how did you come into that year, and just like offensively, you had a great season as a rookie. Just talk about that year for yourself.
I thought, I had a really good season as a rookie. I think, confidence was probably my biggest thing. I came into the league with some confidence, and I had a really good start to the season that kind of set me for a bunch of games, and I continued on playing well. But I also had, great coaching staff helping me out, and also great teammates. So I think, they were a big part of my success as well, for sure.
We're going to let you go shortly. I do want to give you a chance. So Roman Schmidt, I mentioned we had him on. We've had him on a couple times. I feel like I should give you the chance to chirp him. Is there one thing that you can chirp Roman Schmidt about right now that maybe people wouldn't know? Like maybe an off the ice story if one comes
even if
to
it's
mind.
just a fact about Roman Schmidt.
Yeah, just like one thing he does weird or something.
I don't know. Nothing crazy. No, I don't know. It's kind of locker room talk. Like there's nothing really much, like just, we joke around all the time, but I mean, it's nothing. I don't know, to be honest.
How about playing against that stacked Don Mills team when you were in minor hockey? I feel like that team still gets talked about, and probably for you a little bit too much, like all those guys on there, but what was it like playing against them?
Obviously, they had really good players on their team. You see the guys coming down the line now. We got Schmidt. So there's a bunch of good guys on that team that are, doing pretty well right now as well. But we the Red Wings, we also had a really good team, and we always used to compete against them. But the OHL Cup wasn't the outcome we wanted. So I haven't gotten chirped about that yet, which is kind of surprising, but
that was so fun for us to watch. There was like 9 guys that were on Chump Talk that were on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
So
blast.
Yeah, and then the U18s. We never talked about that quick. That had to be an unreal experience for you guys. We've talked to a few guys that have played on that team, and winning that must have felt pretty good. What was the feeling like just putting on the Canadian jersey and winning gold for the country?
yeah, I mean, getting the call that I made the team was something very special to me, and flying down to Dallas as a team was also very cool. Meeting other guys from all around the country or around our country, and just playing with them, even the coaching staff, teammates, everything was top end. I couldn't be happier with our outcome. So, that was also a very good experience, and then playing against other teams as well.
Stilly was telling us that like before you guys could even meet, you had to be isolated in your room just alone, right?
Yeah, we
So
had a 3-day quarantine or whatever.
so you were meeting guys probably just over like Xbox or PlayStation, really, eh?
Um, I can't really. Well, no, we were doing a lot of Zoom calls
Right. Yeah.
before, so we were kind of like it was kind of more Zoom call, introducing yourself as a team. So,
Is there a go-to game for you if you're gonna sit down and do a little gaming, or are you not much into that?
uh, I mean, I used to play a lot, but I don't have my PS4 here, so I don't
Yeah,
really play.
That's probably a
But
wise decision.
yeah, that's probably fine.
yeah, so I mean, if I had to pick, I don't even know. Like, yeah, I'm not really much into video games, to be honest.
That's all right. We're fine with that. And then last question I have: you're living in Kitchener now, obviously in a billet home, I'm assuming.
Yep.
It says you grew up in Hamilton. Is that right?
Yeah, Stony Creek, Hamilton. Yeah.
So what's the favorite part about being in Kitchener? We're about 25 minutes outside of Kitchener, so we're in Kitchener all the time. What's it like living there?
Well, yeah. So I'm located in Waterloo. It's like
Oh, okay.
so like 10 minutes away from my like 7 minutes away from the rink, so it's very close to Kitchener. But yeah, I mean, it's a great city. The people are very nice here, and yeah, I mean, it's a great spot, great location. So, and
So
it's
you're hop,
close to my home back home, so it's nice.
so you're hopping on the expressway every game to get to the odd.
Yeah.
All right, so some highway driving like that.
Two-part question for you here. First of all, what are the expectations for yourself this season? And just as a team, as the Kitchen Rangers too, what are your expectations there for what the team can accomplish this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, um, to win as many games as we can. I think being the leader, I have to lead the way and set a great example for our team. And I think just always coming down before every game and making sure we win every game as much as we can, and then take it from there, and then also try to win the league. I think we have the team, we have the base, but we can keep on going here. So I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Love it. That's a great
Couple more
answer.
quick ones for you. Favorite road arena in the OHL so far?
Favorite what? Sorry,
Favorite away arena in the OHL so far?
I'd have to say. I mean,
Hamilton, you probably get lots of
classic,
family.
yeah, like your classic London, and then
Yeah.
also Niagara's good because it's close to home, and they also get their rink is really nice. So probably those two teams.
And then we'll end off with this one. So besides the obvious OHL highlights so far, besides like the first goal and being drafted, what's just like a memory you have from playing in the OHL so far? Just something that you'll take with you 15, 20 years down the road that you'll remember.
Um, I mean, we didn't have playoffs, so I didn't get to experience playoffs yet. So I mean, we had a really good team. So it was unfortunate that we didn't get to play in the playoffs. I was really looking forward to that, but yeah, I mean, probably my first game in the OHL, scoring my first goal. I think that was very special for me, and I think it was something I'll never forget for sure.
Awesome. We're gonna let you go. This interview won't be coming out for a couple weeks, but as of right now, 15 points in 11 games going into your games this week. So you're off to a hot start. We're excited to watch you moving forward, and we'll be in attendance at the Odd to watch some of those games. So good luck moving forward, and we're excited to see what the Rangers can do.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate for having you guys having me on. Appreciate
All
that.
right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.